Them say there was no hero during slave trade time. But what if I tell you, say, deep inside the dark creeks of Niger Delta, some brave Ijaw men risked their own life to save captured Africans from slave ships. Imagine small canoe wey fit only carry 10 people, facing British guns and slave raiders, just to rescue strangers. Why them do am? How them even survive? Stay with me, because by the end of this story, you go realize, say, not all Africans be victims, some be heroes wey history forget. Click on that like button and let's continue. This one no be just one old story, na lesson wey still matter today. As the world dey talk about freedom, Black history, and reclaiming our identity, this story go show, say, Africa still get warriors of compassion, people wey fight evil with courage and canoe paddle. And if you think, say, the only heroes na the ones wey carry gun, wait first. You go soon see wetin e mean to fight for others when nobody dey watch. Everybody don hear the common story. White traders come Africa, capture Black people, sell them as slaves. Some local chiefs joined hand with them for trade. We read it in school, we hear am for documentary. But history no tell us, say, among those same rivers where slave ships dey anchor, some Africans dey fight silently to stop the trade, using canoes, courage, and cunning. Among them are the Ijaw people. Let's go back small, to around 1700 to the 1800s. The heart of the slave trade period for West Africa. The Ijaw people, also called Ijaw, they live along the Niger Delta waterways from today's Bayelsa, Rich River State, and small parts of Delta State. Them be river people. Canoe no just be transport, na identity, na pride, na weapon. According to historian Ebiegberi Joe Alagoa for 1972, in the book A History of the Niger Delta, Ijaw oral tradition talk, say, the river be life, and the canoe be spirit wey move am. So when foreign traders and coastal raiders begin turn the creeks to human hunting ground, these canoe men no just sit and look. Local legend, confirmed by the records in DK's 1956 book, Trade and Politics in Niger Delta, talk, say, some canoe men from Nembe and Akassa area form small rescue groups. At night, them go wait near the mangrove channel, watch for chained Africans wey raiders they drag to ships. When darkness cover river, them strike, silent like spirits. Some of them they use war canoes, long wooden boats with 15 paddlers, armed with arrows and short muskets. Them go ambush the raiders, break the chains, and carry the captives back inland through hidden creeks. One British trader writes for his log around 1830, say, native canoes appear suddenly from the mangroves. They attack with desperate courage and vanish before dawn. Historians like Paul Lovejoy explain how rescued people not just disappear, then find shelter inside the thick mangroves. Some Ijaw family keep secret paths called Egbesu routes, named after the Ijaw god of justice. Them hide the escapees inside forest villages until danger pass. Some even marry into them, so the people no return to slavery again. You see that act, taking risk for another person where you no know. This is courage in its purest form. But wait, if these Ijaw canoe men be rescuers, why history no celebrate them? Why no monument, no mention for school book? We go answer that soon. But first, make we understand wetin really push them. Ijaw society gets strong tradition of canoe houses, something like clan-based companies. Each house get chief, members, and war canoe crews. Some canoe houses, like those for Bonny and Opobo, later turned traders, powerful enough to deal with Europeans directly. But others, especially for Nembe, Brass, and Okrika, use their canoe houses to protect small villages from raiders. Alagoa records say one Nembe canoe chief called Ere Opoku vows, say, no slave ship go enter his creek without fight. Even when the slave trade don dey fade and palm oil trade take over, these canoe men still act as bodyguards for travelers and traders. Their bravery no always pure. Some canoe houses also fight rival villages for trade control. But deep inside that chaos, some truly stand against human trafficking. And here is where the story twists more, because the same system wey produce kidnappers also produce rescuers. How you go judge them depend on which creek you land. One name wey stand out be Jaja of Opobo, born as a slave, rise to become king, and build a Kano state that resists European manipulation. By 1870s, King Jaja used his network of Kano houses to control trade routes and stop illegal human trade for his region. He not just protect his people, he build economy wey favor locals. British traders call am an obstacle to free trade. But truth be say, he won't free his people from exploitation. So when them trick and exile am to the Caribbean, it was not just about palm oil, it was a punishment for standing up. But what happened to the Kano warriors after him? Did their legend pie with the trade? We go reach that soon. Even after the Atlantic slave trade collapsed for mid-1800s, the spirit of Ijaw Kano men no pie. Them channel am into something new, protecting local commerce, escorting merchants and defending villages. British colonial officers later write say the Niger Delta was full of small naval units of extraordinary discipline. During Nembe festivals, some still sing song of Egbesu warriors who rode against the tide of evil. Drop am for comment if you believe say African history still gets plenty unsung heroes you never hear about. Who you think deserve documentary next? When scholars like Professor Lagoa go record Ijaw oral history for 1960s, old men for the riverine villages tell am story of Kano men who rose for freedom. Alagoa compare am with missionary reports and colonial archives, and the pattern match. Same river names, same creeks, meaning these no be myth, na oral history backed by colonial documents. That is why Alagoa talk say, the Ijaw people's resistance to the traffic in persons must be counted among Africa's earliest humanitarian actions. Today, the Ijaw still honor water, Kano, and courage. Their Egbesu deity, god of justice, still symbolize moral strength and protection for the weak. When Ijaw youths today march for rights, many call themselves Egbesu boys, maybe unknowingly carrying the spirits of those same Kano heroes. Even Jaja of Opobo, once betrayed by the British, now then they talk about him in schools as a symbol of African leadership. But what about his navy of Kano men? Their names lost to tide. Maybe in a time we bring them back. Now, make we close that earlier question. Why their story disappear? 3 main reasons. 1. Colonial erasure. British historians focus on European actions, not African resistance. 2. Oral tradition limit. Stories passed by word of mouth. Now once elders die, memories they fade. 3. Moral complexity. Some Kano houses fight for trade and rescue at the same time. It confused colonial writers, so them avoid the topic. But as Lovejoy from 1990 talk, the line between complicity and resistance was never straight. Yet, within it lay acts of astonishing humanity. So even if no statue stand for Ijaw heroes, their stories still float. In songs, in creeks, in the rhythm of paddles. Next time you see Kano glide across Niger Delta River, remember, that no be just ordinary boat. Is a descendant of vessels we once fight for slavery with nothing but courage, paddle, and heart. They didn't fight for fame. They fought so that others fit live free. And that, my people, now the true definition of a hero. If you dey enjoy this kind deep African story wey them know they teach for school, like this video, drop a comment say, I remember the Kano men, and follow this page for more true African stories wey go shock you.